Let's talk about the CRBN TruFoam Wave series and find out if this is the wave you should ride. CRBN fixed Genesis's biggest problem but created a new one. The waves are consistent but less forgiving, and they still cost $280. That partial fiberglass patch in Genesis created unpredictable hotspots, causing balls to jump off the face with more pace than expected. Players complained about that inconsistency. CRBN listened and redesigned the face with full fiberglass coverage for the Wave series. But here's what you need to know up front. Fixing that inconsistency came with a trade-off. The sweet spot got smaller and less forgiving. When I switched between Genesis and Waves during testing, the differences were noticeable. My friends noticed it too. Mishits that Genesis might bail you out on suddenly played flat around the edges. CRBN sent me all four shapes with nothing expected in return. No money changed hands, and they didn't ask for a positive review. I do have a discount code, MPB, that you can use to save 10% on your purchase. By using it, you'll earn me a small commission, which helps me continue producing content just like this. I've been playing Waves for weeks now, and what I found is a paddle series tuned for top-tier spin, good power, and what they call extreme dwell, which means the ball sits on the face longer before releasing. This core creates better controlled power, but mistakes outside of the sweet spot can be harder to recover, at least more so than Genesis. The question isn't whether these are better than Genesis. Spoiler, they are in every way. The question is whether that improvement is worth $280 when similar value exists elsewhere at lower price points. So let's start with what's actually new in the core design. The TruFoam Waves use curved wave pattern channels instead of the cutout voids in Genesis. These curved channels create mini arches that are structurally stronger while allowing more flex. More flex means longer ball contact time, which translates directly to higher spin numbers. The physics are simple, and the spin data proves it works. The face construction represents the biggest change from Genesis, but you can't see it. Instead of that partial fiberglass patch right in the center, Waves gives a full-face woven fiberglass sandwiched between two carbon fiber layers. This eliminates those random hotspots where Genesis would send those balls flying unpredictably. So you either like fiberglass in the hitting surface or you don't. The trade-off is more pronounced in dead zones at the perimeter. It's a consistent performance that drops off hard at the edges rather than inconsistent performance across the face. If you've ever hit a bantam, you know where the drop zone is. The core is designed to create what CRBN calls extreme dwell behavior. Unlike paddles like the Rhombus Ripple where you feel the ball pocketing, the Waves plays firmer to the touch. You don't feel the dwell happening, at least not as much, but the spin numbers show it's there. The ball absorbs into the face, gets shaped by the longer contact time, then releases with spin rather than explosive rebound. The construction process has undergone subtle but important upgrades too. The wrap extends about a 1/4 inch higher than Genesis, which makes a real difference in hand placement. The peel-applied texture resembles Genesis to the touch, but is engineered for better grip on the ball during that extended contact time. Manufacturing quality improved over Genesis in measurable ways. My test paddles tracked much closer to published specs than Genesis ever did. The early signs are good. These felt consistent right out of the box and maintained feel through weeks of play. The extreme dwell design philosophy affects every aspect of play. Against a heavy pace, these can initially feel unstable. But once you adapt to the feel, you can reset and redirect incoming shots. But what you won't get is explosive power like the Bread and Butter Loco or the immediate rebound of the Selkirk Boomstick. These deliver controlled power through extended contact time rather than an instant punch. If your game relies on explosive pop, the Waves might feel disappointing. So the top spin performers are the Waves 2 and the Waves 3. The Waves 2 hits the 99th percentile spin at 2,390 RPM with an 83 firepower score, making it the most powerful paddle in the lineup. The 6.9 twist weight gives you the biggest sweet spot and best stability. The Waves 3 maxes out spin testing at 2,404 RPM for 100th percentile performance. Its firepower score of 77, combined with a 6.7 twist weight, make this the best elongated option for spin without being too demanding. I think the Waves 1 is the most demanding option. It delivers the highest serve speeds at 59 miles per hour, hitting the 84th percentile, but has the lowest twist weight at 5.85, so this paddle wants clean contact all the time. It also has a 5.75-inch handle that works great for two-handed backhands, but feels cumbersome for smaller hands. The Hybrid Waves 4 is the best of both worlds choice. It's the most maneuverable with a 108.75 swing weight and matches the Waves 1 serve speeds at the 84th percentile, but offers better versatility. The firepower score of 78 with a 6.55 twist weight makes it well balanced. All shapes deliver consistent serve speeds between the 81st and 87th percentile. Punch volleys range from the 68th to the 84th percentile, with the Waves 2 leading for pop. So the twist weight differences matter more than the firepower scores for most players. Higher twist weight equals more forgiveness when you miss the center. The Waves 2 and 4 are head light, while the Waves 1 and 3 are more neutral. So the bottom line is that if you want maximum spin with decent forgiveness, go with Waves 2 or 3. If you want demanding performance with maximum reach, choose Waves 1, and if you want versatility, pick Waves 4. The extreme dwell design affects every shot type differently, so here's what you need to know. Drives and serves don't give you explosive power. The ball compresses, gets shaped by longer contact time, then releases with controlled spin. Topspin drives dip hard, proving those spin numbers are real. Volleys expose some of the design's limitations. The Waves 2's largest sweet spot provides the most stability, but against heavy pace, these can feel unstable initially. But once you adapt, you can reset and redirect more effectively. So touch shots reveal the sweet spot demands. Find the center and dinks are controlled so you can work sharp angles. Miss the center and balls die in the net. Serve performance varies by shape. The Waves 1 and Waves 4 delivered the highest speeds in testing. The Waves 1 demands the cleanest contact due to the low twist weight, while the Waves 4 offers better forgiveness with similar power. The Waves 2 provides the most consistent placement despite lower speed numbers. Stability improves dramatically with weight. I modified the Waves 4 by adding 12 grams from the logo toward the head. This increased the static weight to 8.6 ounces, swing weight to 118, and twist weight to 7.3. I made similar adjustments to Waves 2 and 3, just a bit less weight. The modification transforms stability against pace while keeping maneuverability and improving plow-through. Break-in period is minimal. These were playable right out of the box and gain slightly more dwell after 6 to 8 hours of solid play. And the sound signature tells you everything about contact quality. Find the sweet spot and you get a satisfying crack. Miss it and the response becomes muted or hollow, so there is clear audible feedback about your contact point. Unlike Genesis, all 4 shapes launch together and the performance differences are real. So here's which one you should get. I think most players should buy the Waves 4. It's the most maneuverable with the lowest swing weight while still delivering 84th percentile serve speeds and 95th percentile spin. This works for the widest range of playing styles, both defensively and offensively. If you want the absolute highest spin numbers, consider the Waves 3. It delivers a 100th percentile spin with good stability at a 6.7 twist weight and a more manageable 5.5-inch handle. Skip the Waves 1 unless you specifically want the longer 5.75-inch handle for your two-handed backhands. The 5.85 twist weight makes it the most unforgiving, and that longer handle feels cumbersome unless you need it. So the bottom line, Waves 4 for most people, Waves 2 for maximum forgiveness and spin, Waves 3 for the highest spin performance, and Waves 1 only if you need the longer handle. So now let's talk about how these stack up against the competition. The Rhombus Quanta costs $99 after code MPB and has bigger sweet spots. It's more forgiving when you miss the center and more powerful. Yes, the Waves spin better, but do they spin $180 better? Only if you value elite spin over very good spin and can consistently find the smaller sweet spot. The Bread and Butter Loco costs $100 less and gives you explosive pop. The Waves make you work more for that power, but let you shape shots better. Want immediate punch? Go Loco. Want drive shot shaping control over ball placement? Go Waves. The Selkirk Boomstick at $333 hits harder than the Waves can, but it's heavier, less maneuverable, and tougher to control on touch shots. The Waves gives you more shot variety while still packing good power. Genesis versus Waves comes down to this. Genesis had unpredictable hotspots. Waves have smaller but consistent sweet spots. For the same $280, Waves are better in almost every way. The real problem is the broader market. At $280, you're paying premium money for paddles with some limitations. You can get good performance for way less unless you specifically need top-tier spin and can access it consistently. So Genesis versus Waves, go Waves. Against everything else, much harder to justify unless spin is your absolute priority. So let's wrap this up. At $280, let's be honest, these aren't worth it for most players. The performance is impressive. Serve speeds in the 81st to 87th percentiles, spin numbers that max out testing scales, and clear improvements over Genesis. These are legitimate shape-shifting power paddles, but the question isn't whether they're good. They are. And when properly weighted, they're even better and a blast to play. The question is whether they justify premium pricing when excellent alternatives with better playing experiences and characteristics exist for way less money. The Rhombus Quanta offers more forgiveness for $180 less. The Bread and Butter Loco provides explosive power for $100 less. And we haven't even talked about how awesome the Honolulu Pickleball FC Plus and NF series delivers solid performance at much lower prices. So what if you already have a Genesis paddle? I'd pass on upgrading. Yes, waves are better, more consistent face response, better spin numbers, improved specs tracking. But the improvements are incremental, not transformational. You're paying $280 for marginal gains while giving up some of the forgiveness that Genesis provided. So unless you're specifically frustrated with Genesis's inconsistent hotspots and need maximum spin, your money is better spent elsewhere. Genesis versus Wave for new buyers? Without question, go Waves. For Genesis owners, keep what you have. So that's it. That's the CRBN TruFoam Waves review. Early access starts September 24th, public launch September 25th. Use code MPB for 10% off, and if this review was helpful, hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.